Get out of my way. Well, it's the coach. This is the 2018 season, and you've got it tuned to EA Sports. Coming up, bruising runner Leonard Fournette, fresh off 100 yards a week ago, as it'll be the Jacksonville Jaguars taking on the Dallas Cowboys. I'll have scores around the league for you at the half, but it's time for a little football. So we'll hand it over to our broadcast team, Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
Coach, EA Sports coverage of the NFL brings us to the Lone Star State in the very mammoth AT&T Stadium in Arlington, Texas. Obviously, they do everything big here in Dallas, and the introduction to the Cowboys, no exception. They're set for football in Big D as their guys will do battle with the Jacksonville Jaguars. Hello again, everyone. I'm Brandon Godden, joined as always by Charles Davis. And Charles, you take a look at this Cowboy team entering play. They were winners last time out, so they'll be looking, Charles, to make it 2 in a row.
And what I enjoyed when I watched their game tape and their victory last week is they put it together in every phase. Good offense, good defense, and some key plays on special teams. Let's see if they can get that second win in a row.
Meanwhile, for the visiting Jaguars, they're off to a terrific start, unbeaten at 5-0 through the first month and change.
And you can hang a lot of this early success on their defense, too. They're the tone setters for these guys, and the entire team feeds off of what they do.
And he nearly broke that for more, but as it is, they'll start this drive at about the 37-yard line. So here's the first drive now for the Jags. They'll be led out by their quarterback from Central Florida. It's Blake Bortles.
After seeing what he did last week, throwing 4 touchdown passes, I had to go to my thesaurus to try and come up with some great words for what he did. I'm still coming up blank. He was scintillating.
I'm going simple. I don't have your thesaurus. I'm going dynamite. He was dynamite.
I'll take it.
Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10.
Set. 380.
They go play action here on 1st down. And the Cowboys pressure gets there this time for the sack. David Irving with a great push up front. He picks up the sack and a loss of 8.
And so much for that great field position to start the game. Now they're way behind the sticks. Can't wait to see what their second down call is going to look like now.
380. 380.
A fake to Fournette. Now it's Bortles to throw. And right away he lost the football. But it looked like a Jaguar was able to cover this thing, and so Jacksonville will keep control.
On plays like this where the ball comes free, it's often unusual for the team that lost it to get it back. Because this is a quarterback. The ball gets away from him. Everyone else is trying to execute what they're supposed to do on offense. They're usually looking in the other direction, downfield, or have moved away from him. In this case, though, a teammate is able to come up with the ball.
Now a 3rd down throw, but it misses the target, incomplete.
You hear the calls for a penalty, but I just don't think so. I think in this situation, the defender was making sure his guy couldn't hold on to the football. So I don't see anything that warranted a flag.
No, I'm with you. There was contact, but I'm happy they kept that flag in the back pocket. He's got a man, complete. And all the way down to the 39. 4th down conversion plays, you usually think 1, 2, 3 yards, maybe 10. Not there. What a huge pickup as the Sticks make a drastic shift forward.
Well, peel back the curtain, partner. We've got a pretty good look into how they plan to play this game. Aggressive seems to be the word. Going for it on 4th down in that situation.
Yeah, opening drive. Now, we know this coaching staff, they have traits of aggression in their history, but what a start to this game. They're going for it.
Yeah, a lot of people might say reckless, but they got it. 1 for 1 on 4th down here early in the game.
Back-to-back nice plays. 12 yards that time and a 1st down.
Partner, as a quarterback, sometimes you just got to know when the clock has gone off in your head, it's time to go. Tuck it and get all you can.
On 1st and 10, here's Bortles. He couldn't quite hold it. Got hit. Ball pops out. Incomplete.
Defensively here, you're facing a top 5 team in terms of points scored in the NFL. So when they're that high-powered, You've got to find a way to hold them under 20, because to me, that's the magic number. 20-point score gives yourself you give yourself your best chance. That means your offense has to keep pace.
Now a second down throw for the end zone, but it's incomplete.
The beauty of being able to play a zone defense when you can sit back and see the ball coming out of the quarterback's hands, guess what? Creates a lot of confusion, kind of a muddle in the middle of the field where you can go make a play on the football.
And down inside the 15, shy of the 10. Bortles to the former Jet, Safarian Jenkins for the Jags first down.
One of the advantages of zone defense, as I remember it, is being able to see the play develop in front of you. One of the disadvantages, when they find those levels where they can hit you with it, sometimes behind the corner and in front of the safety, it makes it tough to defend.
There's Leonard Fournette, 1,000-yard rusher from a year ago. And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. But a nice little gain. The rushing numbers for Fournette from last week. The hat trick +1, 4 trips to the end zone with his legs.
And, partner, you know how all the guys do when they do that little symbol now about eating, right? Keep feeding me, feeding me. They just kept feeding him and feeding him, and next thing you know, he kept getting in the end zone.
Bortles to throw on second down. And nearly an interception here on their opening drive. But instead, third down.
I know every offense wants to start their snaps closer to the goal line, but it's actually harder to throw the ball in those situations. You throw into that tight coverage, you see what happens. Hard to get the ball in there.
Not enough space there. Lucky maybe that it wasn't intercepted. And this one will wind up with him losing yardage back to the 4-yard line. When you throw it this close to the goal line, usually you're thinking touchdown. Here they actually complete it but lose yardage.
When you're this close to the goal line, you have to anticipate that maybe you're going to see a defense that you can make a case that there's 11 in the box. There's just no room. So I'm with you. You've got to find a way to push things downfield a little bit. Any type of space is better than what we just saw there. And that end result, not one that's satisfactory to them. And that was a good run. This was only one of 9 guys to go over 1,000 yards in 2000 here.
What do you think, 100 yards, the measuring stick?
Always. That is the threshold. You want to keep him under that if you want to play good defense.
They'll try and run for it with Fournette. And he'll take this into the end zone. Touchdown, Jacksonville. A great play there. His 11th touchdown of the year. And the Jaguars drive right down the field and score on the opening drive. One of the keys to their long winning streak has been scoring first. An ideal drive right there, getting the first 6 points of the ball game.
Do you go back to our meeting with the offensive coordinator? Remember what he told us?
Absolutely.
With some teams, I script to probe in the early part of the game. Other teams, I script to attack. They've been in attack mode for these ball games and continue that in this one.
Extra point tacked on by Lambeau. And that makes the score 7-0. Here's Lambeau out to kick this one away. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. So here are the Cowboys now ready to go on offense for the first time. They'll be led out by Dak Prescott, the 135th pick in the draft back in 2016 from Mississippi State.
That was a solid performance last week, wasn't it? 2 touchdowns, no interceptions, ran the team well, won the ball game. Bottom line, may not have been earth-shattering, but it didn't need to be.
So Prescott and the Cowboys now with a 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line. Throwing, Prescott, nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Yannick Ngakoue in there to get him, and that's sack number 8 for him on the year.
Well, we knew coming in it was going to be a long afternoon if they weren't able to hold up against this pass rush, huh?
What we didn't know was that protection was going to spring a leak on the first play from scrimmage.
Got after him right out of the gate.
Now, following the sack, they'll look to make amends on a 2nd down and 17. From the shotgun, it's Prescott. A dump off to Elliott. And he'll lose yardage here. Back to the 15. He lost 2 there, and it's 3rd down. Really good defensive effort. They were all over that little swing pass out to the right side before lost yardage.
Terrific read, better execution, and done with a lot of enthusiasm, wasn't it?
Absolutely.
They saw it all the way, ran to the football, and caused a nice play for lost yardage.
Need something from deep in the bag of tricks here after 1st and 2nd down went backwards. It's 3rd and very long. Out of the gun. Here's Prescott. And this is going to be incomplete.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? The zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on 3rd down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. 3rd down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
Let's take it inside his own 40. Oh, he slipped right by him. Good blocking there, and nearly sprung him. As it is, it'll go as a 19-yard return. Now the Jags will have great field position to start this drive as they take over on the short side of the field. Now a play fake here on 1st down. Oh, the ball comes out on the hit, but they'll say it's incomplete.
I think he had to unload that one before he wanted to. He was right up in his grill. I think he was a dentist there without a license, don't you?
Just not enough time for the play to develop. Just lucky it wasn't a fumble, really. So 2nd down, still 10 yards to go. Ball on the 43. To throw is Bortles. He's going to fire and brings up 3rd down.
Anytime a defense can sit back in a zone like that, it tends to create a lot of congestion in the middle of the field. Makes it very hard to slot one in.
Looked like I-4 at rush hour in your hometown of Orlando, Florida. An absolute mess. And this is good. He got just enough to clear the crossbar as he drops it in from long distance. And before we can get to the field goal try, time will run out on this 1st quarter of play. The Jaguars have the early lead here. We're back to Arlington in just a moment.
The NFL on EA Sports is presented by Snickers. You're not you when you're hungry. Snickers satisfies.
Alongside the former defensive back Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. It's Jaguar football as we begin quarter number 2, as we'll see one following the score on the final play before break. Here's Lambeau out to kick this one away. This is taken at his 4. And he'll take this one near the 25, call it the 26-yard line. And now here come the Cowboys. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means they're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of 1st downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking. Jaguar pressure and a Jaguar sack. Calais Campbell in there to get him for sack number 9 now on the year.
You've called plenty of games in your career. Do you believe in momentum, my man?
I do, and I think we're seeing it right here.
Oh, there's no doubt about it. The run that he's been on, how about that? 3 sacks in a game a week ago, and another one right here. Oh, he's feeling it in a big way.
Don't need it all back at once, but you figure they're going to need something here. 17 yards to go on 2nd down. On the counter, Elliott. And that play going absolutely nowhere as he's belted before he could get out of the backfield. That'll be a loss of a yard, and it leads to a 3rd down.
That's a really alert defense there because they saw the heavy look come in from the offense, countered it with extra linebackers who brought a little bit of speed and heft, and able to really make a big-time play for their defense.
Third and long for Prescott. In trouble here, and down he goes. Back at the 8-yard line.
That's 3 sacks now. That's not much of a surprise to me, nor should it be to you. This team, they lead the league in sacks.
Yeah, they do. This is something that we are starting to witness time and time again. Out now comes the Cowboys punter as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. Taking it about the 16. Slips past him.
Where'd he go?
35 yards on the return. Picked up some good blocks as well. And this offense, they're going to have excellent field position. They take over with a 1st and 10 on the short side of the field. And out now comes Jacksonville as they get ready to go. And fortunate to get points on the board last time. They had to hit a really long field goal to do so.
The kickers in today's game are so good and so skilled and hit from distances that we almost start to take them for granted. And we can't do that. That's a long field goal that they got 3 points out of. They've got to feel good about that. And they better make sure they love him up because he's helped them out.
Yeah, now we'll see if that offense can put 6 on the board here. We'll see. An incomplete pass on 1st down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. Throwing is Bortles. He's going to air one out. And the hit jarred it loose. It's incomplete.
One of the toughest things about playing defensive back is pattern reading, trying to figure out what they're doing. And on that one, they had to fly, just sending a guy downfield with the in route accompanying it, what people call a dagger route, trying to hit the guy underneath after the clear out. In this case, though, they're not able to get it done.
Yeah, they said forget the underneath route. They went for the guy on the fly, but as you said, incomplete. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
That was a nice pickup, some chunk yard there. Some of those big yards downfield with a little bit of rack thrown in there, a little run after catch, and it came on a crossing route. I could just hear one of my friends who won 4 Super Bowls as a quarterback always said the same thing. What route does the defense hate? Crossing route.
And they will score. It's a Jacksonville touchdown. Blake Bortles punching it in from a yard away. And the Jaguars add on to their lead.
Brandon, my man, just one sentence for that one. Clinic.
And that's what they've done. They lead the league in points per game this season, but it's been quick strikeability as we saw on that drive.
I think they're actually intimidating defenses because they're back on their heels right away, wondering where it's going to come from, how they're going to hit them. This group is well organized, well coached, and extremely confident in what they do.
Jacksonville was 3 of 6 last year on 2-point attempts. Only the Eagles went more often, but the Jags are going here. Here's a toss coming right, and he will get into the end zone to bump the lead up to 3 scores. They get the conversion, and Charles, when you only have 2 yards to go, what do you think of the toss play? Because initially it kind of sets you back a little bit.
It does, especially if you get a lot of pressure coming towards you. But if you can get to the edge, if you seal the edge ahead of the runner.
Here's Lambeau out to kick this one away. This is taken at the 3. And he'll be brought down at the 23, make it the 24-yard line. Dak and the Cowboy offense heading back onto the field. And I guess the question, Charles, is what's the formula for keeping him better protected? Because as we see, the protection, it struggled.
And normally what you get is renewed determination. When the big guy gets hit, that usually sparks people. Hey, we can't let this happen anymore. They take it personally. He's not supposed to be on the ground, but that hasn't been the case so far in this game. So maybe they've got to figure out how do they get rid of the ball faster to help out the offensive line so he doesn't get hit as much.
And we'll see if they can keep him off the ground now going forward. And avoids the contact by sliding. Nice way to start the drive, a gain of 12 and a 1st down.
Partner, he was going through his progressions. Not there, not there. After about the 3rd one, he decided he better pull it down and run for it. And he slides down and avoids the hit for good measure.
A first down carry by Elliott. And the hole closes quickly there. He gets maybe a couple up to the 38.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
And he lost the football. And did the Jaguars come up with it? They did. Well, he did what he's known for. He made the catch, then he turned into a runner, took the contact, and coughed it up.
And all I remember as a player, when they catch the ball, when those acrobatic guys catch it, you have to make them pay sometimes. You have to put it on them. Big tackle, knock the ball free. Anything you can do to slow them down.
Leonard Fournette making his way back out there. And we checked the rushing numbers so far here into Week 6, and the returns have been really good. Now, you're starting to hit that stride middle of the season toward the end. They're certainly hoping they can keep up this production.
They are, because one of the adages in the NFL is that defense travels and defense endures even in bad weather, right? You know what else does? A good running game. And people want that, especially as you're...
And this is caught. Touchdown, Jaguars. A big play there with touchdown number 7 on the year. And the Jaguars add 6 to their lead. So now Bortles will bring the Jags up to go for 2. Here's a toss coming right. And he will dive into the end zone, and the 2-point conversion is successful. And they're able to ground it in there on the 2-point try. And you and I were talking before the game that 2-point conversions from the 15-16 season, what has changed, what hasn't changed, partner?
Yeah, I'll tell you what's changed is just your normal strategy, because now you're either kicking the football with the ball on the 15-yard line, or if you decide to go for 2, they put it on the 2-yard line. So what are you thinking as a coach? Do I risk it? Do I go for it here? Do I try and gain a strategic advantage and maybe go for 2 early? That's what people are wondering about.
And now Dallas gets set to take the field. Typically down to the first half, I might say, oh, you at least need a field goal out of this drive, but they're down to the point where they need a touchdown, don't they?
Yeah, normally, you know me. I mean, you've been around me for a while now, right?
Unfortunately.
I'm sorry about that. But normally, I'm the one preaching patience.
Yeah.
You know, take your time. First half, you still got a chance. I think they're out of patience here. This has to be a drive that gets a touchdown. So if you're the play caller, you're going to that portion of the sheet that says big-time plays, specials, anything you can use to get yourself back into it.
A second down throw for Prescott. Looking again for Thomas, this time complete. And he'll get to the 29-yard line, brought down there. That throw good for only a couple. It brings up 3rd down. On 3rd down, it's Prescott. And incomplete on the deep ball.
And what did we talk with them about prior to the game? Their ability to move the chains, pick up first downs. So far, 0 for 3 on 3rd down. If that continues, they'll have little chance of winning this one.
Out now comes the Cowboys punter as he'll come on to kick this one away. And he's been a busy man here in this first half as he gets it away. And this will be taken at the 13. Oh, a heck of a move.
Man.
Well, he wasn't too far from breaking that. Officially, give him 15. And the Jaguars go on offense, 1st down and 10. The Jags and Leonard Fournette making their way onto the field. And he's had his chances in this game. He just hasn't been able to find any daylight so far.
Patience, patience, patience. And that's the hard part for a runner, because they expect every run to be a big one for something to pop.
And that's caught inside the 30. Touchdown, Jaguars. A big play there with his 2nd touchdown of the game, number 8 on the season. And the Jaguars are pouring it on. Now, he's having a nice little first half here, partner.
And it's a first half that leaves us anticipating what can still come. I mean, 2 touchdowns already here through the second quarter. There could be plenty more before this game is over.
Now Doug Marrone not even hesitating. They're going to go for 2. Here's a toss coming right. And they are just not going to let up as he is into the end zone here for 2 more. So they kept it on the ground, got it into the end zone. But Charles, sometimes you probably see teams treat a 2-point conversion differently than if it was 1st and goal from the 2, or I should say 3rd and goal from the 2.
I agree with you totally on that. A lot of teams treat it as if they have farther to go and shy away from running the football. I think this is a great spot to do it because most teams play you for the pass. Go ahead and run and let your linemen surge and fire out.
This is taken at his 4. And not a bad return here. He gets it out to the 25-yard line. And let's gaze our attention on Ezekiel Elliott. And for him, it's been pretty limited involvement down on the scoreboard. Maybe time to turn to this guy.
And you know me well. Winning games to me means starting with the running game and continuing to press the running game. Maybe you go away from him a little bit now, but the bottom line is he hasn't touched it enough to make a difference.
Well, they haven't established that running game yet. The question is, will they? And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. Successful start to the drive, 17 yards, and moves the sticks. First down, Prescott. Throwing over the middle, and it's incomplete. He was trying to get it to Ezekiel Elliott. That'll bring up 2nd down.
It's been my observation there's been a nice variety of play calling defensively. You and I often talk about an offense's ability to keep a defense off balance with what they're doing. I think the converse has been true in this game.
Yeah, I think you're right. They seem to have gone off tendency quite a bit, but only the second quarter, a lot of time to change things. Over the middle, it's Thomas. And he'll work it across midfield inside the 45. And now we won't see a play on first down. We're going to get a timeout instead, as they'll stop it with just over 40 seconds to go in the first half. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. A first down throw for Prescott. They'll set up the screen to Elliott. And he'll lose yardage on the play back at the 45-yard line. The Cowboys going to use their 2nd timeout now as they stop it here with just under 40 ticks to go in this first half. And again, it's Prescott. Over the middle, open is Thomas. And all the way inside the 15 before they drop him. That goes for a gain of 31. From the red zone now, Prescott. And that is incomplete. So 17 seconds now on the clock here.
But one thing that I've liked defensively is that they've shown them a lot of different looks here in the first half. They've come after them. They've sat back. I think that's what you need to do to keep an offense guessing.
And they certainly have kept them on their toes. That's why they haven't had much success on the scoreboard. Throwing again. Prescott on 2nd and 10. And the ball is knocked out. And did the Jaguars come up with it? They did. So a challenge coming down from the booth, and that's where these challenges come from, of course, in the final 2 minutes of the half.
Yeah, now we're going to New York, right? That's command central for the officials. They'll talk, they'll take a look at it, communicate with the referee at the game site, and issue a final decision because they do have the final call now.
To review the play, the ruling on the field is reversed.
This challenge was initiated by the guys in New York. Taking a look at the play, less than 2 minutes to go.
Yeah, I'm sure the coach wanted to challenge it, so he's probably going to send the New York office a holiday card. The Cowboys on third down. 0 for 3 to this point. They could use a conversion. This is 3rd and 7.
Here we go. Wide.
Prescott now after the fumble recovery. In trouble, and he'll go down back at the 12. Yannick Ngakoue in there to get him for sack number 9 now on the year. So we've reached halftime here with the visiting Jaguars out on top as we send you on over to Orlando for Jonathan Coachman in our EA Sports Halftime Report. Take it away, Coach.
Okay, Brandon, thanks very much. More from you and Charles in a bit. But first, time for a look around the NFL to see what's going on here in the late window. We'll begin in the AFC. Baltimore paying a visit to Nashville to take on Tennessee. And it's the Ravens who have the lead as they play the second quarter. Joe Flacco has a touchdown pass there. From there, let's get over to the Rockies to check out the Broncos at home in Denver. And you can see there, it's the visiting LA Rams who have the lead in that one. 2 touchdown passes there for Jared Goff. Finally, we finish at MetLife Stadium to see what's going on with the Jets. And they fall in that one to the visiting Indianapolis Colts. Andrew Luck, 2 touchdown passes as his guys remain unbeaten. In the game you've been watching, it was Blake Bortles with a strong first half throwing the football. He's thrown for over 200 yards already, and his guys have the lead as well. As we get you back to Brandon Gaudin.
All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. Both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3. This is taken at his 4. And he'll take it up past the 25 to the 26-yard line. Out come the Cowboys now as he'll go on offense first here in this third quarter. They come out here with a 0 on the scoreboard. What was said in that locker room? That's what I want to know.
I would love to have been in there because we often have the feeling that there's a lot of shouting, screaming, people upset. But typically, halftime locker rooms are a lot more clinical than that. And in this case, are they upset that the plays weren't working because of execution? Or do they think they were just bad plays to call?
Yeah.
We'll find out pretty quickly here if they feel like they had something going, but they just need to do it a little bit better or not.
We'll find out. Nowhere to go that time. Might have gotten a yard up to the 25.
Tough first half for him, unable to put up the numbers he's used to producing. But with a guy like him, you and I both know it just takes a couple of explosive touches for him to make an impact on this game and on the stat sheet as well.
Looking to throw. Prescott. Oh, had his hands on it. Couldn't bring it in. Pretty symptomatic of how this game's been going. Another drive comes and goes. Still nothing on the scoreboard.
Yeah, I mean, the second half comes, you know, it's real easy to get discouraged and wonder if you're ever going to get things started. But you just got to fight through it. Got to keep pounding away.
Call it a 48-yard punt. Give them 9, though, on the return. And possession will switch hands. 1st and 10. Bortles leads the Jags up 1st and 10 at about the 32. Now Bortles. He's going to loft one deep over the middle. And a scary incompletion, almost picked off. It would have been their first INT of the game. Instead, 2nd down. They're looking for a spark defensively. When he went for that ball, probably thought he had a chance at the pick. And remember, they had 2 last week in the win. Obviously losing here.
Well, you talk about looking for a spark, and the best sparks are when you make big plays for your team. And he had an opportunity there. Couldn't haul it in, but that doesn't mean they're going to back off at all. They figure if they can get one of those takeaways, they can spark their team to a win.
Bortles now to throw. Over the middle, complete. That's Cole. And able to rip off a big chunk of yardage before being dropped inside the 40. Bortles now just 7 of 16 passing thus far, but he's got a 1st and 10. From the gun, it's Bortles. Incomplete.
It's always a battle. Who's going to win on 1st down, the offense or the defense? Let's face it, if you've got the ball, 4 yards or more on 1st down is what you're aiming for. They tried to throw for it there. Nice effort to knock that one away and bring up 2nd down.
Now Bortles. Oh, a battle for it here, and this will be caught. That one goes for 24 yards.
Well, from an offense's perspective, that sure was pretty because the corner route is extremely difficult to defend from my perspective.
What we just saw there, is that sort of the evolution of the tight end position?
Yeah, I think it is because more and more, tight ends are being treated like wide receivers. These are some agile players who can make a play in any spot on the field.
Into the red zone, it's Bortles. Now he's hit, and Bortles fumbled. It's loose, and the Cowboys have recovered. Often on fumbles, you look at the guy who coughed it up and say, geez, what did he do? But, hey, let's tip the cap to the defense here.
Not a problem at all, my man. I'm not even going to tip it. I'm going to doff my cap to him. Congratulations, big-time play. Knocking it free and creating something good for your team. So
Prescott and the Cowboys now with a 1st and 10 at their own 27. They'll try and get the running game going with Elliott. And he'll take this up near the 35, maybe the 34. It's a 6-yard pickup, and it gets him to 2nd and 4.
You know what really fires up offensive linemen? When the guy that is carrying the ball behind them can create his own space and break a tackle along the way.
Prescott now on 2nd down. Got his man complete over the middle. That's Thomas. And they'll get it up just short of the 45 at the 44. That catch puts him over 70 yards receiving now as he's got a 1st down.
When an offense reads blitz, doesn't matter where it's coming from, tight ends know that they become a big part of the passing game because there should be an easy outlet when all those extra bodies are trying to get to the quarterback. A hot route, so to speak.
And he'll only get a yard, maybe 2, up to the 46.
Well, they certainly have been able to get him going and establish the run, so I think it's time to abandon that plan and start chucking it all over the park. And you know who's excited about that? The defensive front. They got a chance to pin their ears back and get after him now.
A 2nd down throw for Prescott. Looking deep downfield. And he almost intercepted it. They haven't picked a ball off yet. That probably should have been their first. And it's 3rd down now.
Well, that certainly looked like something that they discussed all week in practice getting ready for this one. Take the big shot right out of the gate. At worst, you'll open up the defense a little bit, loosen them up, have them back on their heels.
And he'll be brought down at the 48-yard line. It's a gain of 6 on the play, and it'll be 4th down. Instead of throwing it downfield, Charles, they just tried to dump it underneath there. You like the call?
I do. I think it's a high percentage play because you get the completion, and what you're counting on is your back to use his legs and his elusiveness to make people miss and pick up the 1st down. In this case, it didn't happen.
He had his sights on the end zone, no doubt, but is brought down after a huge return there. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. The Jaguars getting set to go. And they'll be looking to atone for last time's mistake of fumbling inside the red zone. Certainly they don't want to do that again.
And so much emphasis placed on red zone offense. I mean, you have periods devoted in practice just for that because everyone knows how vital it is to put points on the board when you've entered that part of the field. And to come away with nothing, that's difficult for a team to handle.
And difficult, and now we'll see if they can make it less difficult on themselves on this drive.
Set. Green 80.
And they're not going to get to the line to run another play. So we will switch ends as the third quarter has come to a close. We'll return with more after this break. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Back now in Arlington. And this is a blowout so far as we get set for the fourth quarter. A very one-sided affair. They go play action here on first down. He's just going to dump this one off to his fullback out of the backfield.
It's interesting because when I'm watching college football and I'm evaluating guys for the draft now, my list